What's up, y'all, man? Today we're going to be checking out the World Cup Explained. Friday. Now, I've watched a little bit of the World Cup with Argentina. Man, I mean, the run they went on was crazy in 2022. So, I mean, I feel like you literally could not be on the planet and not hear about this. So, I want to actually learn the World Cup, a lot of its origins and stuff like that. Let's do it.
The World Cup is the biggest sporting tournament in the world. FIFA claimed that 5 billion people engaged in the 2022 World Cup, and that the final in Qatar was watched by an audience of 1.4 billion across the globe. With more teams and more games than ever before, the 2026 World Cup in Mexico, Canada and the USA promises to be the biggest in history. But how exactly does it work?
Oh my gosh, that's more than half the planet.
Well, the World Cup officially gets underway on June the 11th, 2026, but the process to decide the 48 teams who will compete at the tournament began long before. The hosts are guaranteed a bye into the competition, and seeing as there are 3 hosts in Mexico, Canada and the USA this time, that leaves 45 spots left to decide.
Wow.
These are sorted by a near 3-year qualification process that sees countries face off against other countries from within their federation for the chance to play in the tournament. There are 6 confederations, generally based on geography, and each one of them has its own qualification format. At the end of it, 16 teams from the European Federation, 9 teams from the African, 8 teams from the Asian, 6 from the South American, and 1 from the Oceania Federation qualify.
Now, this is something I'm curious about right here. If you look at, I feel like the North American part, there's a little patch in the South American part that looks like it should be part of the North American. If it's pink. I wonder what that's about. You know what I'm saying? Then you got this very, very small section over here, this purple section, which looked like it need a little love.
The North American Federation would normally have had 6 spots, but seeing as the 3 hosts are all from that federation this time, only 3 further teams can qualify automatically through qualifiers. Now that left 2 spots, which were decided by a playoff tournament featuring 2 North American nations and 1 nation each from the African, South American, Asian and Oceania federations. Now, once the 48 teams have all been decided, it's time for the draw. The 48 teams are split into 4 pots that are seeded based on the most recent FIFA World Rankings list before the draw. The first pot contains the 3 hosts and the top 9 ranked teams. The second pot then contains the next 12 highest ranked teams, and so on. Teams are then drawn at random into 12 4-team groups, with each group containing a team from each separate pot, and no group can contain more than 1 team from the same federation, except the European Federation UEFA. The groups then play each other in a round-robin format known as the group stage. At this stage, you get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and no points for a loss. If 2 teams finish on the same number of points, then there are a host of tiebreakers to decide who finishes in a higher position.
Oh, that'd be
let's
fun.
use Group A as an example to explain these. If Mexico and South Korea have both finished on 4 points at the end of their 3 matches, then the first tiebreaker is which team won the match between them. If Mexico won it, they'll finish higher, and if South Korea won it, they'll finish higher. If that game was a draw though, then the ranking is decided by which team has the higher goal difference across all 3 group games, which is the number of goals a team has scored minus the number that they've conceded. If both nations are still level after that, then the team who scored the most goals across the 3 games finishes higher. The next tiebreaker is disciplinary record, so if Mexico got 3 yellow cards across the 3 matches but South Korea only got 2, then South Korea would finish higher. And if they still can't be separated after all of that, then it comes down to who has the higher FIFA World Ranking. Now, at the end of the group stage, the 2 highest placed teams from each group will progress automatically into the first knockout round, which will include 32 teams rather than the 16 seen in previous tournaments, due to the fact that the World Cup has expanded from 32 to 48 teams. Now, this leaves 8 spots in the round of 32 remaining, and those are given to the best third-placed teams. Much like within the groups, the third-placed teams are ranked first based on the number of points they've obtained. If there are teams with level numbers of points, then they're split by goal difference before following the same list of tiebreakers that we outlined before.
Now, I don't think this is something that's being talked about, but because the World Cup is expanding, that means there's more competition. I mean, that literally in itself means you have to win more games to be able to win the World Cup, which inherently means it's tougher. Which is pretty dang cool, man, to think about, you know? I mean, like, this already is very simple to understand, which I like. But I mean, yo, just the fact that the World Cup is expanding and the competition is getting steeper each time is pretty sick, man.
The best third place teams is a concept that has been introduced to accommodate for the expansion of the 2026 World Cup, and it makes the first knockout phase a little more complicated. Before, countries would be rewarded for winning their group by avoiding a fellow group winner at the round of 16 and playing a team who finished second in another group. But now, depending on who finishes where and in which groups, group winners could play second or third placed teams, and second placed teams could play other second placed teams. Now, you don't need to worry too much about all the different permutations of this, but these are the various different ways that the round of 32 could look. And then from here on out, the World Cup is a simple bracket tournament. Teams face each other in knockout matches. Unlike in other football matches, there can be no draws, so if the teams are level after 90 minutes, there will be another 30, called extra time, to try and find a winner. And if they're still tied after all that, games will be decided by the tension of penalty kicks. The losers of the semi-finals will face off in a third-placed playoff before the last two teams standing meet up in the biggest event in world sport, the World Cup final, where the winner of the most popular tournament on the planet will be decided.
Hey, man,
if you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to the best team of sports writers, reporters.
Check it out right here, man. This is hey, this video was great. I gotta say, man, the fact that 5 billion people, at least in some capacity, tuned into the World Cup last time is unfathomable. I cannot wait to see the numbers for this one, for the 2026 World Cup. I mean, it's going to be crazy. The numbers going to be unreal. I'm sure they probably even have some of the numbers out already. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, I definitely learned a lot. If you did, leave a like, man. I'm out of here. Peace.